In the summer cafe was not crowded. At one of the tables sat a woman and, smiling, watched her daughter eating ice cream. After the other was eating soup. Two guys in white shirts, buttoned to the last button before lunch was, and now the business. This is it? A business lunch or something. Was working before, and now all the managers of the steel wherever you spit. In manager get, muttered the old man, approaching the table where he was already waiting. Life goes on changing. With it are changing and people and names. What's wrong with that? Fyodor. Death pushed the salt shaker on the table and brushed a few crumbs. The old man put on the table a chessboard and, grunting from the pain in the legs, dropped into a chair. And why are you so early today, madam? Missed you, smiled the Death. Let's arrange. I want to win. No strength. Yes. Where are you? Waved grandfather. You. Of course. The player is strong, but this game still, people have come up with. You have other games at all. Wrong. Fyodor Mikhailovich. I have games are the same, such as pawns, horses, elephants. By the way, I'm in the game. Most know what is love? That the most powerful queen can sometimes beat the seedy pawn. This principle of fairness is respected as on the board, and in life. Only now, some human queens, this is often overlooked. You should write a book, muttered the grandfather. Not the life to mow. To each his own, thoughtfully responded to the Death. Generally, writers don't really kept me in some bad light, but what I'm bad, evil and terrible. Aren't you in my company unpleasant? The old man looked at her, but said nothing, putting the last piece on the board. Well, start? Grandfather rubbed his hands and made the first move. Or here, for example, that little girl with the ice cream sits back, eats it, is happy and doesn't think I'm very close to it in 2 steps. But that doesn't mean she's in danger, right? Please, put this pawn on e5. The old man moved a black piece on the place which indicated his death, and made a second move. Yesterday was the funeral of one of the client. All are crying, but I do not understand. In fact, because all of you are mortal. Sooner or later, every one of you for the pen will take place. What cry is that? I do not understand you at all. Now this little girl eats ice cream. She's happy, and when it will end, less happiness won't. Well, maybe flicker in her mind the idea that it would be possible and another thing to eat. But mom will tell her that it is impossible and they are happy, go for walks. So I'm with you as with children. Only here you do not understand that to enjoy life you need during life, and not whining about what is not so, and in the end still die, without knowing its taste. Yes, children in the sense, no more than adults. Of the knight on c6. Please. Where are you gonna take us then? Just wondering, is the grandfather scratched his head and made a move. Fyodor Dostoevsky, you too? Reproachfully said the Death. We agreed that such matters we will not discuss. Come on, relax. He will soon see. Maybe not soon, said Death, and shifted in his chair, looking at the board. Let's try. HMM. Well, for example, the bishop on b4. About an hour passed from the beginning of the party. Players staring intensely at the board and casually, quietly talking. And I said to him, you leave your phone and leave your wallet. And he's like, you know what? Death laughed and wiped the coming tears. And he says to me, what if my wife calls, and I don't answer? You know what a scandal is. Oh, I told him. They say, there is no connection, and italticate, wife calls. Yeah, there are different clients. The rook on a5. Please. You have a fun case, Czar, no doubt. Have smiled the old man, and put the rook on the specified cell. And you, by the way, Here's Shaw, but a maid? How so? Surprised Death, and bent over the board. Really? And the player you, Fyodor, beat me again? I just lifted my hat to your skill. If she had, I must admit that your skill is growing every day, replied the old man, leaned back in his chair. Well, congratulations! Death stood up from the table and straightened his clothes. In this case, is forced to leave. See you tomorrow. She waved goodbye, left the cafe and walked slowly down the road. It was noticeable that she was contemplating playing the game and trying to understand where she made a fatal mistake. There's that, again, this grandfather or what? A waitress peeked out from behind the counter and looked at his colleague. Yeah, already got this old fart, doesn't she? Replied. Every day is sitting here, himself, playing chess, and eating only tea. Then what are you so immediately? Maybe he is sick a little bit. We're old already. So what? Sitting customers scares us. Now I am with him, she will talk. The girl took the menu and headed to the table. The old man. Hello! Will you order anything? Grandfather, as if he emerged from his thoughts and looked at the girl, faded eyes. Yes, my daughter. Bring me a cup of tea, please. You know what? I'll bring your tea, of course, but could you not come to us anymore? Do you really have no friends? Play chess with them, but somewhere else. Our customers just look at you and how to say, yes, I understand everything, daughter. The old man smiled. I understand. Soon I will stop coming to you. Don't worry, I just have all my friends already. How would I put it this way? Lost, in general, to smithereens. There's no one else to play with. And here it's good for you. The breeze blows. Well, I always pay for tea. Don't drive me away, okay? Yes? Well, the waitress stopped short. Tea with sugar? Yeah, and more. Today such a game was intense. Only this. Tomorrow, I still come to you, okay? Well, what to do? Okay. Come on. The old man was drinking tea and slowly, one by one, collecting chess pieces into a chessboard. He perfectly understood that he looked strange in the eyes of other people. He was always alone, playing and talking quietly with himself. But the slanting glances of people and the misunderstanding in their eyes faded, along with the sense of happiness and the realization that he had won against death. Today, one day of my life. He knew very well that sooner or later she would beat him. But today he was happy.